सो यहाँ पे कृष्णा उसको बोलते हैं कि गुरु द्रोणाचार्य, as a teacher you had some responsibilities which over a period of time you flunked, you failed to fulfill those responsibilities, right? The very first thing that you were supposed to do as a teacher was to impart the message of love, devotion and respect to everyone. But what did you teach majorly, right? Obviously you taught them battle techniques, you taught them warfare, which was your duty, yes, but teaching the values was most important, which I think you somewhere failed. You are not a teacher, Mr. Dronacharya, you are a businessman. और ये सुन के द्रोणाचार्य हिल गया, बोला भाई ये क्या बोल दिया आपने, मतलब जिस चीज पे मेरे को पूरे जिंदगी में अपने आप पर नाज था वो ऐसे एक सेकंड में मतलब चकनाचूर कर दिया. प्लीज आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड, प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट इज दिस हैपनिंग, व्हाट इज दिस एग्जैक्टली. सो कृष्णा इज लाइक, you are a teacher in the first place, your heart is supposed to be filled with love and everything. How can you disown your own best friend जिसके साथ तुम खेल कूद कर बड़े हुए थे, ठीक है? तो सबसे पहले तो तुम्हारा गलती उधर ही हो गया. अच्छा, दूसरी बात, किसी भी स्टूडेंट को यहाँ पे तुमने नहीं सिखाया, सिखाना या नहीं सिखाना तुम्हारा चॉइस है, बट उस स्टूडेंट से उसका हक छीन लेना सीखने का इज नन ऑफ योर बिजनेस. बट जस्ट बिकॉज यू वांटेड योर pupil to succeed, you destroyed someone else's life. And what happened after that? Like everyone knows कि एकलव्य की उंगली कट गई और उसने उंगली देके चला गया, बट उसके बाद एकलव्य के साथ क्या हुआ किसी को पता है? उसके बाद एकलव्य, because of his entire depression or anything, he grows very weary and negative, and his minds are completely clouded with negative thoughts. And out of that entire sheer negativity, he happens to join Jarasandha. Jarasandha, who was the sheer enemy of Lord Krishna, and in a battle, Lord Krishna kills Eklavya. Such a good warrior. So यहाँ पे कृष्णा बोलता है कि तेरे उस एक गलती की वजह से इतने बड़े वॉरियर का जान मेरे को लेना पड़ा. अच्छा, why exactly Lord Krishna killed Eklavya? There's another story behind it, which is for some other time. But main cause was Dronacharya यहाँ पे, because of which I had to kill someone, which was not good once again. Secondly, all of your students, when they finished as a Guru Dakshina, you ask them to defeat a king and bring him back. So first of all, Guru Kul का मतलब होता है Kul, family. You're supposed to treat them like your family and not use them for your personal vengeance. अच्छा, गुरुकुल में जब गुरु दक्षिणा देते हैं, दक्षिणा होता है जो दिल से हम ऑफर करते हैं वॉलंटरली. यू डिमांडेड गुरु दक्षिणा, जो सबसे पहले तो बेसिकली गलती है. दूसरा, तुमने डिमांड करके भी तुमने क्या डिमांड किया? तुमने वो चीज डिमांड किया जो तुम्हारा खुद का पर्सनल चीज था. If you were so focused on destroying your enemies, you could have rather told your son to go there. But because you knew your son was not that capable, you trained your students and you picked up your best students to attack your enemy. So don't you think you are selfish? You did not train your students so that they will become better. You just trained your students so that they can do your dirty jobs and so that you don't get the blame. My dear Dronacharya, you are not a teacher, you're a businessman. ये सुन के द्रोणाचार्य एकदम हिल जाता है और उनके आंखों से आंसू आ जाते हैं यहाँ पे. And he's like, I'm sorry कृष्णा, मैं क्या करूँ? But Krishna is like, बाबा wait, इतना ही नहीं, सुन मेरी, अभी तूने पूछा ना, अभी सुन मेरी बात पूरा. Next Krishna goes on to say, अच्छा ये सब भी हो गया, you always favored Arjun. Okay, cool, but don't you think that was unfair with the other students? How can you be so partial with Arjun in the first place? ठीक है, for no reason at all, just because someone helped you or someone was totally devoted to you, ठीक है, that does not mean you give everything to them and deny everything to others. ठीक है, so you cannot be partial. That was one more place where you went wrong. Most importantly, एक और जो पुत्र कामिष्ठी यज्ञ की मैं बात कर रहा था यहाँ पे, right? Because of your sheer sense of revenge or vengeance, that like it could have stopped there, but no, because of your actions, the Panchal king, he swore and oath to take the revenge. Because of he went into that entire yagya wala process, and out of that sheer vengeance were born two kids who were equally cruel and always had hatred inside their hearts. That is Draupadi and Draupada, or Dushtadyuma as he's always known as, right? We all already know how Draupadi was when it comes to her characteristics. ठीक है, अगर द्रौपदी इज वन कैरेक्टर कि अगर ये बंदी नहीं होती तो शायद पूरा महाभारत ही नहीं होता. सो बेसिकली अगर हम लोग ऐसे ट्रैक करें तो महाभारत का कॉज कैन बी कनेक्टेड टू द्रोणाचार्य हिमसेल्फ. कि अगर द्रोणाचार्य ने अपना बदला नहीं लिया होता तो वो बंदे ने कभी यज्ञ नहीं किया होता, कभी द्रौपदी पैदा नहीं हुई होती, कभी द्रौपदी का शादी नहीं होता, कभी द्रौपदी का वस्त्रहरण नहीं होता, कभी महाभारत नहीं होता. So this entire battle is bloody your responsibility in the first place. अब ये सुन के तो द्रोणाचार्य हिल गए. Dronacharya's mind blasted. Dronacharya is like, what the hell? I did not think, I did not even imagine कि मेरे से ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है करके. So Krishna is like, don't question my actions or my decisions. ठीक है? Whatever I do after I take a lot of thought process behind it. And रुक तू खत्म नहीं है, तू सुन अभी और. द्रोणाचार्य टेंशन में अभी क्या बोलने का है यहाँ पे. And you talk about dharma so much. Are you following dharma in the first place? On the 13th day, you killed Abhimanyu, who was first of all a minor. Secondly, all the rules were broken just to kill him. So how does that make you a good teacher in the first place? How does that make you a follower of dharma in the first place? Secondly, just because you were made the commander-in-chief and you wanted to prove that you are supporting and you are fighting loyally, even though your loved ones are on the opposite side of the war, you started using all those celestial weapons. Celestial weapons माने वो ब्रह्मास्त्र, वायुअस्त्र, जो बड़े-बड़े weapons होते हैं. अब उनके कुछ rules होते थे that you are not supposed to use all these weapons against common soldiers. You could have used those weapons only against some certain like dignitaries, but you bloody used them on normal soldiers also, just to prove how dedicated you are to win the war. So how does that make you a follower of dharma in the first place? What, though you were a very learned man, though you were a very sacred personality, the only thing that always kept you going was your spirit of vengeance. The only thing that led you to your actions was your feeling that you wanted to prove your grit, and you wanted to prove yourself always. That is not what a teacher does exactly. And if at all you were a good teacher and you were good in teaching values and principles, your own son Ashwatthama wouldn't have sided with Kauravas in the first place. वो पांडवास की साइड में होता. When a good teacher teaches something, it is not what the student remembers. It is what the student understands and how he applies them into his own life. You always kept Ashwatthama into different clouds, and you always kept on feeding him all the vengeance that you had, because of which even Ashwatthama grew up having that boastful personality कि मेरे को राजा बनना है, मेरे को बड़ा होना है, etc etc. And इसी के लिए वो यहाँ पे कौरवा की आर्मी ज्वाइन करता है. अगर तूने उसको सही वैल्यू सिखाया होता, तूने उसको सही चीज सिखाया होता, so he would have made the right decision and he would have stood on the Pandavas side, on the Dharma side. And because you loved Arjun so much, you taught him all the values, which is why Arjun is on the Pandava side today. My dear Dronacharya, you are not a good teacher. You are a teacher, definitely. You have taught a lot of pupils. But a teacher is not someone who just teaches. Yeah. You have become a businessman, my dear. And this is what is killing you exactly, and not anything that is belonging to the war right now. तो यहाँ पे ये सब सुन के द्रोणाचार्य फुल टूट जाते हैं. And Dronacharya is like,